Welcome to my channel. Today I'll be talking about boundaries as nervous system protection, why boundaries aren't walls, they're signals of safety. Opening orientation. When people hear the word boundaries, they often think of rules. They think of confrontation, of saying no, of pushing back. For many people, boundaries feel sharp or selfish or unsafe. But boundaries are not about control. They are about protection. More specifically, they are about the nervous system protection. Why boundaries are often misunderstood. Most of us never taught boundaries as children. We were taught to be polite, to be accommodating, to be helpful, to keep the peace. For some of us, being easy to be around was how we stayed safe. So boundaries didn't feel like safety, they felt like risk. That doesn't mean you failed to learn boundaries. It means your nervous system learned something else instead. What a boundary actually is. A boundary is not a demand. It is not a rule imposed on someone else. A boundary is an internal signal that says, this is where I stop. It's information. It tells the nervous system what is okay, what is not, what is too much, what no longer is safe. Boundaries are not about punishment. They are about self-regulation. Why boundaries are a nervous system issue. When the nervous system feels overwhelmed, it looks for relief. Sometimes that relief comes from withdrawing, appeasing, over-explaining, becoming rigid, or shutting down. These are not boundary failures. They are boundary substitutes. They appear when the system doesn't yet trust that it's allowed to stop. Boundaries help the nervous system stay within capacity. Early experience in boundary confusion. If early on your needs were ignored, your discomfort was minimized, your no wasn't respected, your nervous system learnt, I have to manage this myself. So instead of boundaries, you develop strategies. You learn to endure, adapt, tolerate, stay quiet, stay capable. These strategies worked. Why boundaries can feel unsafe at first. Setting a boundary can activate fear of rejection, conflict, abandonment, being seen as difficult. That fear doesn't mean the boundary is wrong. It means your nervous system remembers a time when having needs wasn't safe. So when boundaries feel hard, we slow down. Boundaries are not the same as distance. Some people confuse boundaries with withdrawal, but boundaries don't require distance. They require clarity. You can be connected and boundaried. In fact, healthy boundaries often make connection safer, not weaker. The difference between reactive and regulated boundaries. Reactive boundaries come from being overwhelmed. They sound like sudden shutdown, anger, cut off. Regulated boundaries come from awareness. They are quieter. They often sound like, that doesn't work for me. I need to pause. I'm not available for that. Both are attempts at protection. One just has more support behind it. You don't need to explain your boundaries. Now, this really does matter. Boundaries do not require justification. Over-explaining is often a sign the nervous system is seeking permission, but permission is not required. The boundary is complete. when it is clear and calm. Boundaries begin inside. Before boundaries appear in relationships, they become internal. Internal boundaries sound like, I'm allowed to stop. I don't have to push through. I can choose rest. If you struggle with external boundaries, start here. Your nervous system learns safety from how to treat yourself first. When guilt appears, guilt often follows boundaries, not because you did something wrong, but because you did something new. Guilt is not always a moral signal. Sometimes it's just unfamiliarity. We don't obey guilty automatically here. We listen to it gently without letting it run the system. Boundaries and compassion can coexist. You can be kind and still say no. You can care and still step back. You can love and still protect yourself. Boundaries are not unkind, they are honest, and honest reduces resentment. A gentle boundary check-in. If you want to explore boundaries gently, try this. Ask yourself, where do I feel stretched at the moment? Not angry, not overwhelmed, just stretched. That's often where a boundary is formed. You don't need to act on it immediately. Noticing is enough. When boundaries feel invisible. Some boundaries don't need to be spoken, they live in. How long you stay, how much you give, how often you engage. Not all boundaries are verbal, some are simply choices. Why boundaries create calm over time. As boundaries become clearer, the nervous system relaxes. Less bracing, less anticipation, less recovery time. Boundaries reduce the need for being defensive. That's why they feel like relief eventually. Boundaries are a practice, not a personality. You don't become someone with boundaries, you practice boundaries. Some days are clear, some days are wobbly, and that is normal. Progress is not perfection, it's repetition with kindness. Now this is a closing reflection. Boundaries are not walls you build. They are signals your body sends when it knows its limit. They don't push people away. They make room for safer connection. And learning to listen to these signals is not selfish. It is self-respect in its quietest form. Now, thank you for joining me with this today. And if it resonated with you, I would love for you to subscribe and like and share the video. But for now, I want to say thank you for your listening, and I will be talking soon.